What is up, everyone? Renfail here, and it's time. We're here to do the final review for EVERSPACE 2. Now, if you haven't watched the live streams that I've done or the original first impressions video that I did, I would highly recommend that you check that out, because not all of the games that I do a first impressions video on are something that I will continue to play for any length of time. But this one, I was impressed enough with the first time that I played it in that first impressions video that I was like, I gotta play the rest of this game. And full disclosure here, I've not actually finished the game, and there's a reason for that. This game is huge. I mean, it is truly, I'm really impressed with how big it is in terms of it being like an open world within a finite space. You know, there are a finite amount of systems, but you don't have to only focus on the main mission. There's side quests, there's things you can stumble across in space, there's all types of things, and we're going to cover all of those in today's review because this is very much a hands-on review, so I do the recordings as I'm in the game with these types of reviews. So once we get past the intro here, I'll be actually diving in and talking about these things as we show you, and I'll actually be playing the game to talk about it with you. I see something like this coming out, and it makes me wonder what the hell they're doing with Star Citizen and Squadron 42 and all that stuff, because yeah, this isn't Star Citizen, it doesn't have multiplayer, and it doesn't have the SPS component that game has, but in terms of the single player experience with Squadron 42, this game kind of has all of those core gameplay elements in terms of a really smooth and fun flight system, really good music, it has really fun space combat. It has space missions as well as planet missions. The only thing that this has is obviously it's a lesser budget, so in terms of not having, you know, like AAA mocap voice, you know, actors and everybody else doing full-on mocap, this does have animation cutscenes, like still motion. You'll see what I mean when we get into it. So there's a little difference. Obviously this is an indie game, but for an indie game, I gotta say, if you are looking for like an open world space sim where you can run around and shoot stuff and just have a great time in space, I think this game is going to satisfy that need for you, because it really has all of those elements and the gameplay is really good. So without further ado, we're actually going to get into some gameplay today, but before we do, this is the end of the intro, which means I have to do the prerequisite. If you like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon, because I do lots of different reviews like this. I play lots of other games. I stream this game and other things. Check out the playlist here on the channel so you get the full breadth and scope of what goes on here. And of course, I would be remiss if I didn't say thanks to all of the supporters, either on Patreon or here on YouTube. Because of you guys, I get to do this full-time, including all of our full-time supporters at the Guild Champion tier, like Crazy as Relative and Remy D, who have joined at the top tier for our channel. It's really awesome of you guys to be supporting in that way, so thank you so much. All right, I'm going to shut up now, and we're actually going to get into the gameplay. I'm going to load this up, and we're going to go from there.
I'm Delia, by the way. Dr. Delia Wendo.
Call me Dax, and that's Adam.
So, which one of you brought me into this mess?
That was me.
That puts you in the pilot seat when I fly back out.
Don't worry, you and I have the same goal here. But
so
first,
as you can see, we are being presented with a cutscene. It's not a cutscene here, but a dialogue sequence, which gives a story.
Have you ever heard of the Cedo Ghost Fleet?
Can't say that I have.
It's a graveyard of old war wrecks hidden by those Bloodstar idiots. It's a treasure trove of scrapped military tech, bunker casings, cruiser engines.
Hive units?
Exactly. Problem is, it's hidden by distractor tech, so no one ever found it.
So guess what we're about to do?
More beanbags?
Yeah.
Nah, that's not outlaw style. They're more like fortified bases. That'll make them easier to find, but a hell of a lot tougher to take down.
Where do I start looking?
In the deep fields. I already uploaded some coords to your map. Once all the 3 bases are down, the Ghost Fleet will make its grand entrance and present us with our ticket out of Cedo.
Well, I'm glad you two got it all figured out. I'll gather some data on my patient, while you free agents get busy raiding bases.
We're really not outlaws.
And I really don't care. We're good. As long as you uphold your end of the bargain.
So right away, we've just acquired a new companion, and we can talk about the companions here in a second, but we initiated this gameplay sequence with a dialogue scene where we're having the dialogue between various characters. As you noticed, the actual writing is pretty good. The voice acting is pretty good. I would give it like a 7 out of 10 just for the writing and dialogue, because occasionally the dialogue can slip into sort of cheesy territory, but it's fairly good throughout the game, and I haven't noticed anything that's been glaringly like, oh my god, this is really bad. And I've played some games like Lost Ark where it's like I gave it a 2 out of 10 because it's just so horribly bad. This is a 7 out of 10, maybe even an 8 out of 10, depending on the mission that we're working on. For the most part, it's been very good. Also, the storyline has been really, really, really good so far. I've been really engaged with who the character is that's my main character and his journey through what's going on here. And the way they've been doling out, like, what's actually going on has been a lot of fun. And I still don't know everything yet. Like I said, I'm probably 20 hours into gameplay at this point. And one of the reasons I wanted to go ahead and do this gameplay review, even though I'm only, quote unquote, only 20 hours in, is because this game is big enough, and I keep getting distracted with all the side missions and unexplored regions of space and everything else, that I'm pretty sure this game is going to take me 4 to 6 months to actually get through, because I don't play it every single day. I play this 2 times a week, roughly, each time for about 2 to 3 hours, sometimes more than that, depending on if I'm trying to get through to do the review or not. But it's been something that I've been plucking away at, and I have a feeling it's going to be a very long journey for me to actually get through all of this gameplay. So I wanted to get the review out now. But yeah, storyline's good, the writing's good, the voice acting is pretty good so far from what I've seen. So that part of it's pretty awesome. Now, along with that, we can go into the data stuff here, which gets us into looking at, all of these, different story so far components. And this is what I wanted to show you, because these are the cutscenes that I've uncovered so far. And you'll notice the way they work is, we'll just click on one. I want to click on a short one. This might be good one, because this is about 31 seconds, it looks like. Yeah, let's try this one real quick. So we'll replay this cutscene so you can see what the cutscenes look like, because they have a unique art style and it's not fully animated. So what I mean by not fully animated, you'll see here. Like, this is what I'm talking about. It's, I don't know what you call this, like stop motion. It's not stop motion animation per se, but it's, they're using still frames. I don't know what that kind of animation style is called, but it's unique. I've seen it before in other games. They've done it very well here, but they're all like that. So you can go through and watch all of these and replay the cutscenes for the game so far. This is the most recent one. We just met Delia, and she has joined our crew as a companion. What are companions? Well, the companions are people that you come across in the game who join your adventure, not as party members, but as people who are like back on your base. And it's kind of like a side quest system where each one of the companions that you have access to is going to offer you a series of perks that you can then choose to work on, which is going to flesh out your ship a little bit more. You don't have an avatar in this game, you have a ship. So everything you do is about the ship right here, and your different equipment slots that you have. So, looking at Dax as an example, this is the first guy you come across. You could do repairs, and this allows you to have 3 different options of tiers. You pay only 70% for hull repairs, pay 70% for equipment repairs, and when below 30% of your maximum hit points, docking automatically repairs the hull up to that value for free. Now, I'm still working on the first tier of that, and it requires, you'll notice below, upgrade requirements, and those are things that you find through missions and just exploring the game, mining and so on and so forth. So for the cruise drive, I've already done the first tier, which is reducing the cruise drive activation delay down by 1.5 seconds, and we can work on the next 2 tiers. I'm currently trying to get the tractor beam down, first tier down, because that allows me to, I want to get to the second one, which allows me to pull multiple objects into my ship at once, which would be awesome because having to do individual items gets a little tedious. I need some more power cells though to get through the first tier, and then we're going from there. And once you get beyond deck, I just unlocked, as you saw at the beginning of this video, I just unlocked Delia. and she has 2 different perks that I can choose from. The nanotechnology, which is how you heal yourself or you heal your ship. It heals, you reduce double the speed and then repair nearby allies and then also armor. And then she does energy orbs, which is really interesting. I haven't looked at this yet. Destroying ships will sometimes set free energy orbs that replenish some weapon and boost energy when collected. That's cool. They can also replenish armor or shield energy. So there's various tiers of that. So that's really cool. That's how the companions and perks of the game work. So moving on from here, we can check out the ship. Here are the various stats for my ship, and we start off by looking at the devices that you can equip, which do different things. Like I have a short circuit EMP generator, and I have an annihilator virus. And then over here on the right, we actually see the attributes for my ship. So my firepower, precision, structure, expertise, resistance, utility. The stats, which would be no different than like strength, dex, con, so on and so forth for an avatar if you were playing like a Dungeons and Dragons game. And then we get into, the specials for the ship that I have equipped, which is the Nemesis B9. There's different things, the shield rating, the armor rating, the hull rating, the tractor beam range, the speed, the handling, so on and so forth. And down here we have the amount of ship slots that you have. Now, you can get lots of different ships in this game. I'm still rocking the starter ship because of the fact that things are really, really expensive. And you have equipment slots, just like you do with any other game. If you're playing like an FPS or an RPG, you would have gear slots. And the same is true for here. You've got various cannon slots, various missile slots. You've got, cargo units and boosters and sensors and plating and shields and energy core. And these are your consumables. And then down here is the cargo, and you'll see things like this, which is that's a large now. So that's a summonable, equipable object to help us heal ourselves. So we would put that up there. Then we could look at this being, oh wow, these are shield breaker missiles, and I could, look at those and say, well, what are those compared to my current one? And oh my God, they're, a lot different, a lot better, but they don't do any kinetic damage. But they do a lot of better ammo. So we're going to go ahead and equip those as an example right now, because those are really cool. Mainframe component, which we'll use somewhere else. A booster, which is not as good as the one I have. Web mines, if I wanted to equip those. So you get all sorts of gear, and you can then sell this gear or use it for crafting, so on and so forth. And if you want to see what your ship looks like, you can go to your hangar, and this is the actual ship that I have, which is the starter vessel that you get, which the game comes with. And right now I can actually restock while we're sitting here. I have about 14,500 credits. That's not enough for a ship. The cheapest ship I found to buy is like 30,000 credits. So I got a long way to go to be able to actually purchase another ship. But the starter ship so far has been everything it needed to be, and I haven't had any stress about needing to go beyond that point. Getting into crafting, there is a pretty complex crafting system in the game. You have your primary weapons, and you have to find blueprints to be able to make things. So primary weapons, secondary weapons, modules, consumables, components, catalysts, so on and so forth. So you'll notice that for secondary weapons, I've only discovered a couple of recipes. If I look at those, you can see that it's parts needed, and you can also change the rarity on those. Oops. So if you wanted to get into, okay, what does that look like at a different rarity, it would tell you the things that you would need, assuming you could, and then you could improvise something there if you wanted to craft a secondary weapon with uncommon rarity. But the other part of the crafting system is going up to the modify section, and you can actually modify the existing weapons and things that you have. Going through your primary weapons, your secondary weapons, or your modules. So you can actually click on one of these things and say, okay, I want to modify it from here, and then do so accordingly. Modifying things takes various tiers of items, so it's just going to be up to you if you have the things that you need, and going from there. Crafting is something I haven't dove into a ton yet because I'm still gathering resources, and I'm kind of not worried about things until I hit a challenge wall where I start to feel like I'm needing to upgrade. And so far, I'm playing on normal mode. I'm not playing on easy mode. So far, I haven't really needed to upgrade my gear yet. So something to be said for that. So if we take a look at the map, this is something I wanted to talk about earlier on in the video, where I kind of briefly was talking about Star Citizen. So this game is an open world RPG, an open world space sim essentially, and you can see we got a pretty big map here. Currently we're in the Rodea 2 system, and we can scan in. We can zoom in and take a look at things in greater detail like so. We've got undiscovered sites here. We got different places we can go. We can scan out and go. All these systems are here. It's a pretty big place, but to understand just how big it is, there's the system that we're in as an example. So we can choose to like turn on our boost drive here, and we can fly around in this area, take a look at asteroids and things of that nature, see if there's any mining things that we need to touch while we're here. But we can also choose to warp out and go into space. By the way, I am going to say something right now as we're exploring. I'm recording this with Streamlabs. If you notice any choppiness, it is not the game. It is there's some issues with Streamlabs, and I don't know if it's a performance related issue to optimization of the game or whatnot. But the game itself runs extremely well. I am on an older laptop with a 1080 in it, 32 gigs of RAM. I can play this game if I'm not recording or streaming. I can play it on the ultra settings, and I get definitely 60 frames a second at least. When I'm streaming and recording, I've had to drop it down a little bit in terms of graphics quality to try to compensate for Streamlabs not necessarily recording it at flawless frame rates. So if you do see any weird performance issues during this recording, trust me, it's not the game. It's just an issue with Streamlabs. So, here within our own system, we can run around and explore, and we can see things like, oh, what's in here? Oh, we've got, crystal deposit. Well, let's go mine that as an example. So we get in close. That right there, little hitch. Okay. Now we've got these creepy hydras we can take care of. Alright, what do we got over here? Container. Alright.
Ah, credits.
Credits are always good. Alright, that just gives you a little bit of the exploration and to show you what that looks like. So this is the system where our home base is located. We actually want to go pick a place to go to. So I would say let's go to my missions and say we only have one mission at the moment, which is the main mission. We don't have any sides. So we would look in the sky for one of these 3 yellows because those are the places I want to go. That's going to be behind. So I need to look for an open sky because if I try to do it towards the planet, it's going to tell me there's a planetary body in the way. But I want to spin up the jump drive here. Alright, so I can choose to say set the autopilot to travel to this location. And here we are in space, traveling to. Now along the way, we might see some things pop up. It's not always guaranteed. There we go, right there, undiscovered site. So we would drop out of autopilot and choose to travel to this undiscovered site. Now they might not always be undiscovered sites. It might be something like, say, let's say an unknown signal. So let's drop out of that and say, okay, we got an unknown signal over here. Now that could be anything. It could be a distress call. It could be something else. But why not go check out, see what it could be. And this is what I mean by I get continually distracted in this game with side quests and undiscovered locations and distress calls and everything else because it's oh yeah, we're gonna get attacked.
You won't get out of here alive.
Alright. That's far up. Oh, screw it. Oh, I didn't get him. There we go. Alright, so that was a random encounter in space. Any other goodies here that I can look at? I think we're good. So oh, no, hang on. There's another Where's he at? We got a couple more bandits. Let's go take these guys out. Nice. Alright, we got something over here, it looks like. Container. So that's a little bit of like, you know, you could travel to your main destinations, but along the way, you're gonna find things to explore in space, which is why I'm getting to how big this game is. Like, you're gonna find, like, I feel like it's an infinite amount of just things to explore, because I'm constantly getting sidetracked with like, oh, there's this thing over here, and there's this thing over here, and there's this place over here, and oh, there's this over here, and next thing I know, I'm 3 hours into the game, and I haven't even touched any of the main missions yet. So, food for thought. Okay, this will be something I can move. So, this is going to be one of the unique aspects of the game that I think is really cool. So not only do they have lots of combat, but they have things like this where, oh, I need to get in there, but in order to get in there, I'm going to have to move this around. Now, in some cases, these might be quest items that I... Oh, shit! Hang on. What was that all about? Oh, I hit a... Apparently, I didn't get rid of all the mines. In some cases, these might be quest items that you need to plug into another place to unlock a door, or to, you know, turn something on. You can choose to release them, or you can choose to throw them, like so, which I've had to do to unlock certain things. So there's a bulletproof container in here.
Another device. Sweet.
All right, so we were able to get to that. Is there anything else here? There might be. We would need to explore more. Uh-oh. We've got definitely bandits over here. Let's go take care of these guys. So as you can see, combat is really fast-paced, and it's just really good fun. I've loved all the combat so far. The explosions are great. It's super smooth. I am playing on a controller, but you can also play with a flight pad or mouse and keyboard. I've not heard anybody complaining about the flight systems in-game. What is this? Call the Flying Duchess? What was the Flying Duchess? I don't remember. Oh! Oh! This might be where I can... Well, we're about to find out. Hold up. This was like a trade ship that I uncovered earlier on. So it's a shop. So you can go in here and look at the various things that they have for sale. Which is cool. So you can buy and sell here. I got sidetracked, everybody. Sorry about that. So like there's a distress call that just popped up. What am I going to take a look at that just to see? It might be something that's out of our range, but if we can do it, I'll be able to show you guys a little bit of combat action up close and personal.
We're surrounded by mines. Can you help us, please? Hold on tight. I'm coming.
So they've got mines around them. That's not necessarily combat related, because it'll just be me clearing out the mines, unless some drones show up.
Gotta be careful with these mines. Better grab them and move them out of the way.
Oh, grab them and move them out of the way because it might damage the ship. Oh, I shot it. And each time I do that, it's gonna destroy. The ship's gonna take some damage. That was my bad.
You did us a good turn there. Hopefully some credits make up for it.
That's very kind of you.
Money! I like money. So that's one of those little side missions, everybody. It takes, 2 seconds to complete. Some of them are combat. Some of them, like I've had one where I needed to have nanobots to heal a ship, and in that case it was, hey, can you take care of these mines for us? Let's check out this distress call. It might be a combat one. I'm looking for a combat one, so I should get some more combat. Yeah, here we go.
They're attacking us.
Here we go. I'm gonna switch weapons here. Okay. Okay, got that one down. Okay, one more to go.
Looks like that was it. Thanks for your help.
I love it. Those are the fun little things. That's how, and again, that's how I just keep getting distracted over and over and over. Is I find stuff like that to do, and you roll in. Like this gave me, if I want to go over here, like I got some loot, got some seeds which I can sell. I got some mining equipment. I also got some credits over here. And
I'll take these, thank you.
all right. Back into open space we go. And I got one other thing I want to show y'all. Yes, they do. Before we... Now, we actually want to land here at Nephthys Plains Station. There's a reason we want to come here, everybody. So we're going to dock. Notice that there is a ship dealer on this particular station. And here we have the various different types of ships that we can buy. Now, there's, in this case, there's a scout, there's a stinger, a gunship, a vindicator, a vanguard, and a bomber. These are the different types, and you can see on the right, the stats changed based on the various types of ships there. Now, I have not looked this up, so I don't know the answer to this question. Perhaps some of you who are experts on this game can let me know. But I have come back here multiple times, and each time I have come back, I have seen different variations of ships. I've seen some that are the same, like I've seen the Spirit a couple of times. I've seen the Dominator a couple of times. I've never seen the Vindicator. I've seen the Mercury B4 a couple of times, and I've seen the Cyclops a couple of times. But it appears to be different each time I come back, so it just depends on what they have available. But you can get other ships, and you can customize those ships based on the various things. So you'll notice because each one has a different amount of ship slots, as well as handling, speed, tractor beam, hull, armor, shield, special abilities, passives, and so on and so forth. But they do cost a chunk of change. I mean, I think the cheapest one here is the Mercury B4, which technically I could afford, but I'm not going to because I don't like the look of that ship. Nah, no thanks. I do kind of like, yeah, that's not, no. The gunship's not bad. You know, Vindicator's kind of cool. Not gonna lie. Cyclops is pretty awesome though too. I don't know. Lots of ships to choose from if you wanted to pick up another ship and customize the way that you play the game. If you want to be fast and do more damage. Do you want to be slower and do less damage but take tons of hit points? There's lots of different options depending on what type of ship that you want. Something else to think about, and this is the last thing I want to talk about, is ship customization. So when you're on the ship tab, docked at a station, you can come down here to the ship customization, and you can click that customize button. Now this is where things get really wild. So I'm using a custom mod right here. The original ship looks like that. That's kind of like meh. Now I've chosen to come in here and change the colors and everything else on my ship a little bit, but you can also go in and do crazy things based on all of these options. Now it's so far from what I've found out is like the paint jobs that you can get. There's these basic things that you get. Then there's the window tints that you can get for how the window looks. So if I were to change this, there'd be a brown window, a red window, keep it blue for now. Then there's engine colors that you can change the main thruster engine to something different like that if you wanted to. You could change the side engines. And then there's the emissive lights, and then there's decals, ship modules. Now this is where we get into fun stuff because there's different types of modules. Now you have to unlock these through gameplay, so I don't have all the options yet, but that's type B. Then there's type G if I wanted to change it out to type G. There's also the wings. I only have the Nemesis style right now, and I only have the rear type, but the modules are things that you can unlock through gameplay and find through, you know, I've found them as like loot items. I've also found decals as loot options so far. So lots of different stuff I've found through the decal system and through the loot system so far, depending on what you want to do with your ship. So lots of different things you can do to customize your ship, and you have 4 different options that you can apply to your ship. And I'm using this one right here, which I think it looks pretty cool. That's just my personal choice so far. But this is the base ship that you start off with, and you can customize it as you see fit, on top of course, being able to buy other ships. So that's something at your disposal, and then once you have additional ships, those will be in your hangar accordingly. So there you have it, everyone. That is my final review for EVERSPACE 2, which is a really awesome open world space sim. Should you play this game? Abso-freaking-lutely. I think this game is worth every penny. Go out there and get it. If you like space sims, if you like open world sci-fi shooters, if you like good sci-fi stories, good voice acting, good story, smooth gameplay, and just an overall fun experience, I would give this game an easy, you know, 9.5 out of 10. The only thing I've seen that takes it down to like a 9 or 9.5 is the optimization issues of Streamlabs. Now that is not necessarily a them option. That could just be a quirk. Again, when I'm not running Streamlabs, the game runs amazing. And also the writing, occasionally I've seen it dip down in quality, but you know, having it like a 9.5 out of 10, it's nearly a perfect experience for me. This has been a super fun game, and I'm really looking forward to sinking my teeth into it over the rest of the summer months, because I feel like this is going to give me at least 4 months of gameplay based on what I've seen so far and how much I get sidetracked with side missions and the distress calls and everything else I'm doing. So check it out. I think it's worth your time. Let me know in the comments below if you've played this yet or what your thoughts on this game are, and of course, like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss an update as I continue to play this game and other games. Check out the playlists because I do a lot of different stuff here on the channel. And now that we're at the end, I have to say thank you to all of the supporters, and if you like this video, please support any way you can. The easiest option is the monthly recurring membership starting at $2.99 a month. We do a lot of fun stuff for our members, including private videos, so check those out. We also have super chats on any live stream or premiere. There is a button in the chat area with a $sign on it. Click it. There's pre-programmed amounts so you can put in your own. There's also super thanks on uploads and YouTube shorts. It's the same process, but there's a heart button down below in the video after it's been uploaded where you can just click and have some pre-programmed amounts. There's a Patreon page and a Discord channel, so check those out. Links are down below. I'll see everybody in the next video. Until then, stay safe.